I'm Alec. This is a Fistful of Vinyl, and I'm here with Walter, etc. What's up, guys? You just finished a pretty awesome set. I'm really grateful to have you guys here and have some songs from the new album get shared.
Thank you, Alec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun playing.
For sure. Yeah, this is your second time here. I want to kind of figure out what's the how do you feel like the band has grown since the last time you were here, which was 2-3 years ago? How old
It
were
was
we?
2014, so it was 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for being our historian for that.
Anytime.
Yeah,
I got my
Technically
ears.
shrunk. There were 5 of us last time.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
band
it's
is
true.
technically
We
shrunk.
4-way split. So what's kind of spiritually about the band? What's changed since then? Like, have you guys matured in any meaningful ways?
At some
Like,
level, I
like-
think.
I
Yeah.
think the sound has definitely grown into the electric, Walter, etc. Obviously,
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
mostly electric, and the lyrics have gotten a little worse. The
Was the subject matter
That's
changed
not true at all.
Like,
the subject matter has I feel like it's changed in some ways, but at the end of the day, it's kind of just like introspective, sometimes a little sad lyrics, So in general, not so much, but like for instance, this record has some more cryptic lyrics and more, not so literal as Walter Mitty was like constantly literal,
Mm.
But in general, it's still kind of the same band, same lyrics.
Nice. Now, I did something a little bit tactless during the session where I had you play Community College, an old song of yours. It was selfish of me because, man, I really want to record that song. But how do you guys feel playing older songs? And do you feel like there's sort of like a pillar of difference between Walter, etc. and Walter Mitty besides the Disney lawsuit?
How do we feel about playing old songs?
I like it. It's fun reinventing them since the last ones were, acoustic songs, and
For
now
sure.
we're playing with an electric band. It's fun to reinvent them and then continue to reinvent them. Like even in practice today, we're switching up the way we used to play the old songs because there's no right way to do it with a drum set. So you can keep reinventing it. So it's fun to bring new life to it each time.
Yeah, it's kind of treated as more of a living piece of art. Than,
Yeah, totally.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, before the Well Soon tour, we kind of had to recreate. That was the first tour I went on, but we had to recreate the Well Soon album because we were doing it electric as opposed to doing it live in a studio acoustic with acoustic instruments. And we were just talking about that yesterday morning, and how with this one, Gloom Cruise was kind of written this way with these instruments. So there's not as much of that anymore, and I think we're excited generally about playing.
Yeah,
the new
definitely
songs.
stoked to play the new songs.
Yeah, you just play them like they were on the album. You don't have to think that hard.
Yeah, it's not how do we make this kazoo sound with the...
How do we update this from 3.5 weeks ago?
Yeah. Totally.
Very cool. And I was really excited to hear that Rosenstock produced this album.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about that. How did that happen, and how did that what sort of creative decisions happened in the album that,
That
felt
Rosenstock.
really kind of
that's
his touch?
fun.
It was so much fun. I don't know. We recorded that over 5 days with Jack Shirley at Atomic Garden, and that was waking up on Christmas every morning for me. It was so fun. It was. I swear. Even that's true. And it was just so fun going there, working with them. We've been fans of Jeff Rosenstock for a long time. So seeing him there on the first day, I was like, oh, that's the guy. It was crazy. And then he it was fun.
We're all teasing him about being a little fanboy here.
Yeah.
I would be the same way. I've been trying to get Rosenstock on my show for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy, and he had really great ideas, and he was a really good producer. It was fun working with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had great ideas, and he always let us have the last say. And he did a great job of kind of repeating myself, coming up with ideas, but letting us have the last say. So that was really cool.
Yeah, creative influence, but not creative control.
Definitely
Yeah.
that.
A fun specific thing that he changed. So he had some big shifts, but mostly it was small little ideas, about tones and harmonies and stuff. But one big change he made was in the last song on the album, Baby Blue Hammock.
Mm-hmm.
He was you should add the chorus for a third time at the end, it's the end of the album, blah, blah, blah. And I was super adamant. And it was weird saying no to Jeff Rosenstock, but I was no, dude, I don't want to do 3 choruses. That's corny. That's overkill. And then finally he's just sleep on it. And then I came back the next day. I was all right, let's try it. And we played it. And it's just he just kind of he tweaked the end of the song with that third chorus. And it was a great idea.
Yeah, it turns out he knows what he's talking
Yeah,
about. And
he
that's
does.
That's something that he's always done, bombed music industry's music and his own solo records. He uses repetition in such a cool way. where like he'll take the same like musical phrase and repeat it for like minutes on end.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like the end of like Get Warmer, you know, or it's just like this same sort of like it almost monotonous, but he varies it just enough every time. That,
Yeah,
like,
totally.
yeah. So it's cool that like you kind of got a piece of that in your record too.
Yeah.
There was one song on the record that was supposed to be done acoustic, kind of with the Walter Mitty and the Walter Mitty style, and he wanted us to do it electric.
That's
And
true.
It ended up being electric, and I won't say which one it was, but there was one of them.
Okay, interesting.
Do we like that we made this
I'm gonna find out.
I
You guys
really
may
do.
not.
Yeah, I really do. And it just goes to show how much like ad lib there was on the album, because he was like, "Why don't we do this electric?" We're like, "Yeah, we could try this." And then 5 minutes later, we had it. So
And that was the take.
That was
Yeah.
the take. There's
Like,
a lot of
oh.
ad lib. There's a lot of drum fills. I'm like, and the other one's like, I'm okay. You roll the dice. Sometimes you win.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of, so I just because I'm not going to get a better segue than that.
Maybe that's why I said that phrase. I saw that right there.
You're just helping me out a little bit.
Yeah.
So we started doing this thing in our interviews, where we have a list of 20 questions here that like aren't really that related to music, but are just kind of related to like being alive and being a person. So who wants to do the honors to roll the dice? And
Brad, how about you?
does anyone here actually play D&D? Like, does anyone know what a D20 is?
I recently learned that's like the way you say it, like a D6, a D8,
Yeah.
a D20.
D20.
Yeah, boom.
It's
All
a
right.
D12.
Take a guess. What would a D12 be?
Isn't that the
It's a 12-sided die.
A 12-sided die. That's why this is a D20.
That was way off.
D6
Anyway,
is
Actually,
usual.
there actually are you actually do use D12s in the game. Yeah,
There's got to be some level
I
of
play
D or
D&D. I'm not
C
afraid to
circle.
admit that. That shit's fun.
Yeah.
All right, so we gotta. Oh, you wanna just give like an artsy close up of that?
Sure.
We'll wait. How's this? You guys having fun?
Yeah.
I accidentally was leaning against the water thing for like 3 minutes.
We're in a drought.
This is just so
Is there a waterfall back there?
It kind of looks like
She's got so good at the poker face that this thing is just like soaking his pants. He's just like answering a question super
I didn't
articulately.
realize I was doing it until they pointed it out.
Like the juxtaposition of this. Or just,
All right. I like this one. So most of these, this is new, so most of these questions I haven't been able to ask yet. But what's the scariest movie that you know of that isn't a horror movie?
Oh.
All right. These are good questions. I had fun coming up with these.
Oh, I have an easy answer for me.
I don't have one.
Titanic.
Ooh,
it's brutal.
that is pretty brutal.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like a love movie first, and it's like, oh, and then everybody dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like no, just like most of the men, and like yeah. That's
And
a pretty good
unfortunately,
answer.
some of the lower class citizens.
Yeah. And the you know, if you think about it, there's a lot of parallels. No, I'm not even. I'm like, I can try to sell this. No, I'm gonna cut that part. But no, Titanic's a good answer. I was always interested, like, you know, which direction would somebody go like an inconvenient truth, and somebody else go like idiocracy.
That's
It's like no, Titanic. It's like it's a love story. Like a bunch of innocent people
It's
die.
universally terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially that one dude who like drops off the top and like
I always
hits
think
the
about
propeller
that
on the
one.
way down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it happened. That happened.
And weirdly, seeing that movie as like a 12-year-old barely pubescent kid, like that's not the scene I remember most fondly. Go figure.
We all know what scene you remember.
Oh come on, like it's only me.
We're a little more cultured than that. But anyway.
That's actually,
Yeah, all right.
That's how I learned about that.
Oh really?
That movie, yeah.
What are we talking about?
When the hand goes on the foggy window.
Yeah, when the hand goes on the steamy window.
Oh yeah, classic.
Yeah.
I asked my mom after we saw that what was going on.
Like, what was making the steam, Mom?
That's when I learned.
What'd
so.
she say?
Was she, like, ready
to
to-
explain the whole?
Well, like, was that like your talk, or did she
That
give
was our
like
talk.
did you get like the stork answer? You got the.
What do you mean?
Did you
Well, I
get
mean,
the
if you're too young to get the talk, it's the stork brings the baby, you know. But if you're ready to get the
Oh
talk,
no,
it's like,
You got the science?
No, she didn't tell. She didn't say the stork brought. No.
Okay.
She. I got the real.
you got the real answer.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if I've ever had that talk. Anyways, I digress.
Titanic
We'll
is
do it
my-
off camera. I'll catch you up.
Yeah, let me know.
We should have the talk on the way home then.
All right. I have a hard question in mind, one that we were kind of talking about before, or I can softball the end. What are you guys feeling like?
Freaking hard question. Come on.
Hard question? All right.
This one was hard.
that was supposed to be an easy one. That was supposed to be a fun one. So kind of talking about like what's gone on with like Kris Clavin and like Planet X and like the kind of sexual assault charges or accusations.
Something like that?
No. I'm gonna ask. It's kind of what we were talking about before. Of like, to what degree should the conduct of an artist be connected to like the enjoyment of their art? Case in point, Chris Clavin has, done these things. A lot of people have come out and he said that, like, he's been sexually assaulting people, and he's not denying it. To what degree should that diminish a band like Ghost Mice that has, like, really helped a lot of people? Like, can it still help people even though Chris Clavin is kind of, turned into this pariah in the scene? Mm-hmm. Or should the music itself kind of, like, lose its meaning because the person who wrote it has done something to compromise it?
Yeah, that's an interesting moral question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you it was a hardball.
Similar with
Jane, too, because
maybe?
people will think of us differently how we answer this question right now.
I mean, maybe. We're just people with opinions.
That's true.
And I'm putting you on the spot right now. I don't think anyone will accuse you of, like, wait, like, his super articulate opinion is wrong. It's like,
I don't know. The internet's a wild place.
Yeah.
well, I think everyone maybe will appreciate that this is a challenging question, one that maybe doesn't have a right answer, and we can just do our best with it.
Right.
I don't think you should support those people, like, financially. If you want to listen to their music on your own, that's fine. Maybe steal their music from Napster or whatever.
That's actually, I like that compromise.
Just,
Yeah, that's a
I
nice
wouldn't
compromise.
post anything about them unless it's, like, calling them out for whatever terrible things they've been doing.
So at this juncture, like, stop supporting Ghost Mice financially, socially.
I've never
But
listened to them.
they're just the recent example within the scene. I mean, like, we just as easily call out. I mean, Michael Jackson's like a super
Yeah, I was
easy
about
example.
to say,
like
Michael Jackson.
King of Pop, but diddled children. Like,
So a nice compromise would be like, because I personally do believe in kind of like separating the art from the artist at a certain point, the art kind of takes on a life of its own.
yeah, it seems.
So a nice compromise would maybe be to not support the artist directly, but also not just write off every single song that person made just because the person made some pretty bad moves in their life.
Yeah, especially if the songs have a potential to still do good somehow.
Yeah, but even saying this, I
Yeah.
feel dirty. You know what I mean? Same thing with like Screeching Weasel. Like, I still think a Screeching Weasel song is super catchy, but then the dude's, obviously a misogynistic a-hole.
Yeah,
It's a tough question, though.
it is a tough question. I think it comes down to, like, a very personal answer.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's funny because it's kind of relevant in our band because I've written some lyrics name dropping some bands that have later come out as blacklisted bands,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, well, F me,
I mean,
I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss or not, but
but
I was like, well, shoot, I recorded that lyric and now,
But in that sense, it's historical, though.
Yeah,
It did happen.
right,
Yeah, you wrote that lyric at the time. Yeah.
right.
Well, all right, then let's actually end this with an easy one. Like, what's on your playlist right now, and what bands do you feel like should be getting more attention than they're getting right now?
That's a good question.
I think Wilco's always on my playlist,
There you go.
Okay, nice.
but also I'll say Big Thief. I've been listening to a lot of
Big Thief. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You guys listen to music at all?
What do you guys listen to in the van?
Lately, I've listened to Slaughter Beach Dog. That new EP that just came out,
Okay.
Motorcycle JPEG. That one's really good.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been digging that.
Word.
I've been listening to a lot of Sade, and this girl, I don't know how to say her name, but it's like SZA. She's super rad, like some R&B stuff.
Maybe
Saw or something. Shaw, like, yeah.
Well, we'll get the phonetic pronunciation.
Yeah,
after this. We'll figure it
really
out.
good though.
What do you got, Russell?
Recently I've been listening to this band called O. I think they're called O. It's O with an accent above it.
Okay.
And they're really good. I like them a lot. Big Thief as well. And I don't know why, but it's just such a hard question for me to answer. I never know off the top of my head what I'm listening to.
I feel like when we were younger and you had like CDs or like an MP3 player, it was easy to remember like these are the 5 bands I've been listening to this summer.
Constantly building playlists and
now, like,
sharing mixtapes.
Yeah, I go to Spotify search. I'm like, what do I listen to?
Yeah.
Listen to
I listen to Hot New Indie. Like,
Yeah.
Listen to Flake by Milk Flood.
Yeah,
on the way
listen to that over here.
It's a really good album.
Oh,
yeah.
I know that one.
I
I know
always
that one.
bumped it.
Yeah, it was great.
So yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, tell everyone how to find your music and I don't know, bump your latest album.
Hi, we're Walter, etc.
This is still going to be the end of the interview. Like, they've been watching it for 15 minutes at this point.
Hi, we're Walter, etc. You can go to walteretcetera.com or walteretcetera.bandcamp.com or find us on Facebook.
Yeah.
We have an album out called Gloom Cruise. Catch us on the road.
I'll do it.
There you go.
We did it.
We did it.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching/listening. I'm Alec. This is a Fistful of Vinyl. And, yeah, you guys are rad. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
That was fun.
All right, let's go take a picture.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just get a towel or something. Bit of a mess.
Dustin, don't get hurt. Watch out! What is it? What are you
Wait, the electricity!
full on nothing matters mode? Nothing matters mode.